Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is actually the first video. This is a brand new channel because I have a channel in Portuguese, but I've been called to do an international channel in English for a very long time, but I've been kind of stalling, but Spirit has been kind of pushing me, and it got to a point that I just cannot stall anymore. And yeah, so here you go. Before I continue, please, to help me grow this channel and spread the word, I ask you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notifications bell, and share the video with whomever you feel like the content is relevant. And yeah, welcome. Just so you guys know who I am, my name is Luciana, but you can call me Lu. A lot of people call me Lu. It's easier. I'm from Brazil. That's why I have a channel in Portuguese. And I am an astrologer and a holistic therapist, amongst other things. And I actually have been trying to create content to help people throughout this awakening process. During this Earth's transition, I apologize for the English. As you know, it's not my first language. And also apologize for the sore throat. That's one of the reasons why I've been stalling. I've been kind of sick lately. And most of my content is, I'm trying to create, most of my content is actually channeled. You can see it clearly that I have fog brain, basically because I'm a Pisces. That is typical Piscean energy, and not just that, I have in my birth chart, my Mercury is in Pisces and it's retrograde, so it's that's why I have a very hard time articulating myself. But you're gonna have to bear with me. I have I have a serious problem with memory loss all the time. Typical Piscean me. But my intention is to create content that is not too much astrological heavy base. I base myself in astrology, yes, but I mean, there are too many people. There are too many channels with that already, and I think that people don't relate too much with all the astrology terms. I want people to use information and make them useful in their daily lives. I want people to be able to understand things and to relate to what is happening. And like I said, I'm a Pisces. I'm a Scorpio rising and a Cancer moon conjunct to Lilith. That is too much astrology, but I'm highly intuitive. Ever since I'm a little girl, I'm clairsentient, I'm claircognition, I'm clairaudient. So I have a lot of clairs about me, and I'm very connected to spirit. So I use my intuition. That's why most of my content is channeled, and I like to remain it that way. I don't like putting a lot of technical terms about anything. I just want to relate to you guys. It's another thing. That's why I just come here like straight out of the shower and just press record, and you're probably never gonna see me wearing makeup or anything. I want to awake in people this spirit of being their authentic selves. Like, Nothing against makeup, nothing against people who wear makeup. It's just that I feel most people do these things out of because they need, out of their insecurities. They feel like they're going to be judged, or so what, you know. I think we should start embracing our natural selves, our humanity, our flaws, and that is, I'm hearing things already. That is a big part of my therapy, and that is a huge part of the awakening process. So enough with the introduction. You're gonna notice all my videos are very, very long because I'm a very deep person. I don't like doing things halfway through, and especially for this video, this is gonna be a long video because a lot of things have led us to this point, and unfortunately, because I've been creating content in Portuguese, I cannot. I'm gonna have to summarize a little bit. One of the things, some of the things that have been happening for you guys to understand where we are now. I'm gonna create weekly videos to tell you guys what is happening with the week's energy. That's why they're gonna be called weekly energy, and again, they are mostly based on feelings and later on astrologically checked, but especially in the case of this one, and lately, not just this one but lately, they're gonna be unfortunately heavily astrologically based, because there are a lot of things happening in the skies that I just simply cannot ignore. So you're gonna have to bear with me, and you're gonna notice that because I channel a lot and I'm very sensitive, and I'm a Pisces with a Cancer moon, sometimes I get very emotional. So it is quite normal for me to cry on camera, so I already apologize in advance. Yeah, without further ado, let's start with the whole week's energy. We have a lot of things going on in September. We already had things. That's the thing. Like the second, not just the second half of 2024. 2024 on itself is going to be one of those years. I've been telling that for a long time. It's gonna be one of those years where humanity will look back and they're gonna go like, oh, remember 2024? Yeah, this is what's going on with 2024, because we have a double rulership of Saturn. It is a very karmic year. Is a year of cleanse, collective cleanse, and therefore individual cleanse for everyone. And Saturn is a very stern planet, and it wants us to grow. So it makes whatever is necessary to make our soul grow. That's why we're having a very difficult year. And the more unaligned you are, the more difficult it's been. Because mankind has been stalling for a long time, and a lot of people are having a hard time awakening. And we have, like, I always say, oh my god, I'm already getting emotional. I always say, Spirit has a plan for us, and there are a lot of of, it's not just about a greater power looking after us. There are a lot of good energy wanting this to work out. This, when I mean this, is Earth, us as a planet. And it is us as a planet because we're not separated from Earth. It is one thing that people are starting to realize and becoming conscious about it. There are a lot of forces that don't want that to happen, yes, but there are many forces in the universe that have been working really hard for millennia for this to work out. So we got to a crucial point. Like I said, we're living a period of transition. Earth is transitioning and there's no delaying anymore. We got to one of those pit stops in Earth's soul history, because Earth has a soul. Everything has a soul. Everything is spirit. Everything is energy in the universe. Even a rock, even a grain of sand, everything vibrates. Therefore, everything is energy, and everything that is energy is conscience. And soul is just the manifestation of conscience. We just need to be sensitive enough to connect with that. We're all connected. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. This is already getting too deep for the first video. That's how I am, guys, I'm telling you. Like I was saying, 2024 is this cleansing year, and ever since I think ever since 2019 I've been saying that 2015 is gonna be like something really big is gonna happen in 2015. I didn't know what was it. I was just hearing like the number in my head, and I think 2015 is gonna bring big shifts. The closer we get to 2015, the more I feel about that. And not just that, astrologically things are starting to piece together, but I feel we're just going to, when you're going when you go to a roller coaster ride, like 2015 is gonna be when you're at the top of the roller coaster, and then you just start going down at full speed. That's how I feel. Like 2025, I'm sorry, is gonna be when things are gonna really shift and start changing. So yeah, 2025 is gonna be a big year, guys. And we're preparing for that. And in order to prepare, we need to be clean. Not just clean, but we need to be sure of, at least halfway sure, not of what we want, but of what we are. Because that is one thing that I've become a very big critic of, and that is one of the reasons why I decided to start this recording in English, and spirituality started yapping about it. They're like, you have to expand your content, because there are a lot of crazy people just talking a lot of nonsense and making people even more lost than they already are, and they're distorting a lot of concepts and misleading people and making people confused, and some people are actually getting depressed because they're understanding things completely wrong, and they think they're doing the right thing and they're not. We're living an era of fake prophets, and a lot of people hearing. I don't doubt anyone's mediumship, especially because I think everyone is connected to spirit. Human beings are naturally mediums. The difference is, I always say that, the difference is that how much you have practiced that throughout your lives. lives with capital L and in plural. It's just like an athlete. Sometimes some people are like professional athletes when it comes to mediumship, because they have been using and practicing a lot. And others are like just people who just go to the gym regularly, so they just connect with their intuition eventually, so they have insights. Other people just, I don't know, do it lightly every now and then. And some people are just like sedentary. They just don't do it at all. So they think they don't have the capacity to use to connect to spirit, but they do. It is innate to human being. That's the thing. So like I said, I don't doubt anyone's gifts and capabilities of connecting to spirit and mediumship. But the thing is, especially now with the age of Aquarius, Aquarius is all about symphony and resonance. That's why the symbol of Aquarius are two ways. It's like the two of them have to be vibrating at the same frequency. That's what Aquarius means. So we have to make sure we are vibrating at the frequency we want to be vibrating. That's why everything that we're living now, it's about being coherent.
And what I forgot to say is that I don't doubt anyone's ability. It's just that I notice, being sensitive like I am, that I see some people connecting with some very weird entities, very weird energies. I think people are connecting. It's like, who the hell are you connecting with? I've been hearing and seeing some very distorted energies. I don't like. People are not controlling their mediumship and their spiritual abilities. And that is worrying me a lot, to be honest.
Because it's all about frequency. What frequency are you vibrating and emanating to the world? And this frequency, it's not like, oh, I'm putting that into the universe. I'm manifesting this. I'm wishing this. It's not about that. It's not. It's about incorporating that. It's about literally being that. You know, when those parents, the best example that I can give is like when those parents, they just tell their kids like, I don't want you to eat cookies because it's bad for your health. Stop eating cookies. And every single night, they just go secretly to the kitchen and they eat cookies. It's like, do you think your kids are stupid? They know you're eating cookies. So you teach your kids not through words, but through example, by living whatever it is you preach. It's the same thing with this Aquarian energy. And it is what these gurus are distorting when it comes to the manifestation law. They're like, oh, you have to write down and journal and dance naked in the moonlight and, I don't know, blow out some cinnamon powder in the rain. And they just make up all these weird things and do weird videos and weird rituals. It's not about ritual, guys. Ritual is a material thing. We're not living in the material era anymore. We live in a material world, so it's important for us to be aware of that. We shouldn't, which is another thing that people are distorting. We should not forget that we live in a material 3D world as well. We should not dissociate from that. Some gurus think we should, and they put spirit in a different category and higher than matter. It's like, oh, spirit is better, so forget about matter. No. We live in both experiences. We live in a universe that is made of duality. It's not even about duality, it's about a triad, because everything is manifested in three. So it's duality with a third one, because duality is always playing with each other, generating a third one, and that creates expansion. Anyway, I'm going too deep again, but just put in your mind that everything's about duality. So it's not just about being fully in spirit or fully in matter. It's being aware of the both of them and using well the both of them. We're here as spirits to have a material experience as well. So do not discard and do not think it's a bad thing to be in matter as well. But what was I saying? See, that's being a Pisces. Oh my god. But yeah, the law of manifestation. All these gurus, they have this stupid idea, and I'm sorry, it is stupid, of like, oh, you should do rituals and just vibrate and emanate to the universe and speak these beautiful words and blah blah blah, and all these, I don't know, prosperity theories, abundance theories. You know what is abundance? Prosperity? It's literally to become and be what you... Oh my god, they just say like, oh, imagine yourself being a millionaire on the beach, living in the house that you want, because I wanted to buy a car, I wanted to buy a Ferrari, and I imagined myself driving the Ferrari, and now I have a Ferrari. It's not about that, guys. It's not about that. First of all, you're only thinking about material things, and I'm not saying material world is bad. I'm not. It's just that you should think a little higher than that. And it's not about thinking and putting yourself there because imagining me there. No. It's like being that. Being that. If you want, it's like, oh, but I want to be a millionaire. So be a millionaire. Oh, but I don't have the money. Be a millionaire in your actions. How does a millionaire act? Oh, they spend money. No, they don't spend money. They treat themselves well. They don't go out in public saying, oh, I look awful. Oh, I'm gonna eat garbage. No, they treat themselves well. Even if you don't have money, treat yourself well, because that's what a millionaire does. The difference is that, and even some millionaires, they have very bad, low self-esteem. So every person is a person, but it's like, just embrace whatever, and embrace and incorporate the prosperity that you want, and vibrate that, and be coherent. That's the law of attraction, is being coherent. It's not like dancing naked and writing journals. And I'm not saying that all these rituals, if you're fine with that, then do it. It's like your way. All I'm saying is that it doesn't matter if you do all these things and you are not that. You're not coherent. I myself know a lot of people who are like, they're all about, oh, love and peace and gratitude and blah blah blah, but they're not that. They're not that. They just say it. They just say it. And they just put it out to the world and on Instagram and all of, but they're not actually that. They don't truly believe in that. Anyway, I don't know why I'm saying these things. I don't know, maybe someone needs to hear that. That is the age we're going into. This is Aquarius. It's all about being in sync with what you truly believe. Again, is what we're seeing in the world is like a bunch of people wanting to be accepted, and a lot of it's like, oh, just let everyone speak and hear everyone's opinions. But all these people are radicals and intolerant. And it's like, weren't you saying that we should embrace everyone and hear everyone? Why aren't you hearing anything that is different from your opinion? It's contradictory. Love and light discourse that is filled with hate and shadow. This is completely wrong. So yeah, this week's energy. Let's focus on this week's energy. I got this introduction. I divert a lot, but I think it has, again, it's channeled, so maybe someone had to hear it, but it has a lot to do with the times we're living. And this week's energy, we have two very important things happening. The first one is happening on September 1st, which probably it's gonna have already happened when you're watching this video, which is Pluto going retrograde into Capricorn. And Pluto, I actually took some notes here and on my computer because, again, bad memory, but so eventually I'm gonna have to look at all over the place, and sometimes I'm looking at random just to try to listen. You're gonna have to get used to me. But Pluto's getting retrograde in Capricorn on September 1st. Pluto shifted to Aquarius on, let me get my ephemerides. It was January, I think it was 24th or 22nd, I don't remember. 22nd, yeah. On January 22nd, Pluto got into Aquarius after spending 16 years in Capricorn. Pluto has a long transits. And every time Pluto is like this big sleeping giant. Every time Pluto does something important, everyone feels a lot. Not because of just like the orbit or anything, but Pluto is a very, very karmic planet. And you're gonna hear everywhere, it's like, oh, Pluto is death and rebirth, I hate I hate shallowness, by the way. But Pluto is all about going into the depths to expose whatever isn't working anymore. For us as a society, in the collective, because again, it is what we call outer planet. It has long transits, and also works individually on us. So it goes into the depths to show what isn't working anymore, and it makes us not be afraid of the dark, in order to rescue something that was buried deep. And it has almost this phoenix kind of energy. It's like, okay, go there where you're very afraid of going and try to find your treasure. And once you find it, you're gonna come back very strong, because you cleared a lot of things that weren't working anymore, and you're not afraid of going to the basement. You have to look into the basement because there are a lot of things there that aren't good for you and aren't working anymore. And I don't care if you're afraid, I'm gonna show them to you whether you like it or not. And Pluto is like that guy that rips off your band-aid, puts salt on your wound, salt, vinegar, fire, whatever, and it doesn't care if it hurts. It's gonna show you. And the more you resist, the more it's going to hurt. And Pluto works in cycles. In order for you to grow, and you grow exponentially when it comes to Pluto transits. Again, and Pluto, it's trying to make you align and be coherent with your soul's purpose. That is what Pluto wants. Again, as an individual and for the collective, for Earth's collective. So, when Pluto was in Sagittarius, moving to Capricorn, we saw a lot of fanatic religions and religions basically being like the Catholic Church having a lot of things exposed, and Islam have a lot of things happening. And then when it moved to Capricorn, I think it was about 2008. Let me just check it here. It went retrograde and blah blah blah. Yeah, it shifted to Capricorn on November 28th, 2008. And then Pluto was like, okay, my mission here is accomplished in that area, so I'm gonna start working now on Capricorn's archetype. And the thing about Pluto is that Pluto is a relatively new planet. I think it was discovered in 1930 or something like that. It's a relatively new planet. And I always say that astronomy is the physical part and astrology is the spiritual part of the stars. And just like our bodies and our spirits, we always need something material to incorporate an energy, an archetype, to manifest on Earth. But we only get to experience that energy and to learn that energy and to experience that archetype once we're ready. So before 1930, before Pluto was discovered by astronomy on Earth, we were not really prepared for Pluto's energy. And before that, the planet related to death was Saturn. And so humanity didn't have Pluto's archetype. And we didn't know what Pluto would do and how it worked. But later on, after we found out Pluto, its archetype started working and influencing us. This power of regeneration started to become available to us, and we started to become aware. Which makes perfect sense because it was right when the wars were happening. So we needed Pluto energy because it is destructive, highly destructive, but it's like, hey, something isn't working anymore, right, mankind? And you're gonna have to regenerate from the ashes, right? Which is what happened with World War II. So it was the perfect timing for Pluto's energy to show up to mankind. Nothing happens at random in life, guys. Nothing happens at random in life. If you just put that in your minds, life becomes much easier and much more magical. That is a Pisces speaking, but we Pisces are happy. And again, when Pluto was discovered, Pluto was in Cancer. And Pluto has a 240-year-old orbit. So it takes 248 years for Pluto to complete its journey. So mankind doesn't know how Pluto manifests in all the signs. We're just experiencing this as we go along, because we found out in Cancer, then we went to Leo, then we went to Virgo, then we went to all the signs, and now we just experienced Capricorn, and we're going into Aquarius. So we as a generation are experiencing firsthand what it's like to have Pluto in Capricorn, and we're going to experience it firsthand its transition to Aquarius. That has never happened before. And for the next 248 years, Pluto is not going to get back into Capricorn. So we're not going to have Pluto in Capricorn anymore, nor our kids, nor our grandkids, probably not even their grandkids. So it is a big deal. It is a big deal what we're going through. And the reason why it is a big deal is because, and then again, Pluto is going to go to Aquarius. It's like I said, it spent 16 years in Capricorn doing its job, showing everything that was rotten in Capricorn's under Capricorn's archetype, and then it moved to Aquarius on January 22nd. And but that's the thing, it went to Aquarius on January 22nd, but this is why September is going to be a very important month. This week, on September 1st, Pluto is going retrograde on Capricorn. It's going backwards in Capricorn, back to Capricorn energy. So it hasn't really left Capricorn energy for real. This period that it went to Aquarius, that we lived from January till September, was just a little taste, was just a prelude of what we're going to experience for the next 20 years. 19 and a half to be more precise, but 20 years after it stations direct in Aquarius for real. And that is going to happen on November 19th, because Pluto is going to, like I said, is going to go retrograde on September 1st, back into Capricorn, and on October 12th, it's going to go direct again, moving forward again, but it enters Aquarius only on November 19th. And then it's never going to go back in Capricorn in our lifetime. It's going to stay in Aquarius for the next 20 years, dealing with the Aquarius archetype. And we're going to experience that. But that's why it is a big deal what we're living in September. What is the Capricorn archetype that Pluto is messing with and has been working with all of this time? People usually associate Capricorn with money and success and power. And that is precisely what Pluto has been working on. Pluto is making us question, because Capricorn is all about structure. It literally is about social paradigms, the social paradigms in which our society has been structured around. Pluto has been making us question the outdated paradigms of this Capricorn energy, of success, of money, how we validate ourselves. And what do we seek in this lifetime? And Pluto has been making us question the power structures, the patriarchy, all of these things that we're seeing. Like, we don't trust media anymore, we don't trust our politics, we don't trust even the traditional family structure. The work environment is like going 9 to 5 to a job. It's like, no, we're freelancers, we're restructuring how society works. Pluto started showing, hey, the way things are going is not really working for everyone. And now that, and it had to clear all that out in order for the new to come in Aquarius, because it's like, oh, we have all these new ideas for Earth and like environmental things, and it's like, yeah, but in order to implement them, we need to see what is not working anymore, what is rotten, what is outdated. And Capricorn is also all about boundaries, and because it is an earth sign, it's not just about it is literally also about the material boundaries, because Capricorn is the last sign, is the final frontier between the material world and the ethereal world. If you think about it, after Capricorn, we only have two signs. I said I did three, but two signs, Aquarius and Pisces, and both of them are already dealing with the metaphysical archetypes. Aquarius is all about like higher mind and thinking outside the box and higher conscience and expanding to the universe and thinking about the collective and all of that. So there isn't anything material about Aquarius. And Pisces, it's not even about mind. Pisces is literally back to source. It's when you dissolve and you're back to source. I like to use the analogy that Pisces is like this big vitamins, this effervescent vitamin C tablet that you put into the water and it just fizzes out. You just do this and it dissolves. This is Pisces energy. So both of them deal with the metaphysical world. So literally, Capricorn is the final frontier between matter and not matter. That's why Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn's symbol is a scythe. So it's like, yeah, this is where we trace our boundaries. And so this is not just about like how we it's not just about we questioning success and power structures and all of that. It's also like, how far are we willing to go and to exhaust our physical bodies in order to attend this crazy demands that are actually artificial, that this social paradigm, the social structure created, that is not working for us as humans, as physical humans. Because again, Capricorn, this is the shadow part of Capricorn, this ambition, this unstoppable ambition, because the light side of Capricorn vibrating at its highest vibration, because everything in astrology, again, not just astrology, but in life, it's duality. Everything has light and everything has shadow, and you have to learn how to use both of them, because both of them are useful. Shadow is not a bad thing. Shadow is there for you to use it when it's useful, because too much light can always burn you. I always say that. But Capricorn's light is everything in astrology work in axis, and the complementary opposite of Capricorn is Cancer, and Cancer is all about nurturing. And every sign, they share characteristics in their axis. So Capricorn is about nurturing, but Cancer is a water sign, so it's about emotional nurturing. And again, Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's about physical nurturing. So Capricorn understands the cyclical nature of things when it is vibrating in its light attributes. It is about respecting and nurturing yourself, and not just that, nature itself. It has, so Pluto going back into Capricorn is making us question, like, what is not working in your life? What are your limiting beliefs about success that society has put on you, your family, all this social conditioning, all these social paradigms that don't work anymore. But then again, not just that. It's like, what is needed to let go in order to create a new life for you, but a new earth as well. Because the way things are going, they're just not working anymore. Physically, it is physically impossible to keep up like this. We're exhausting the earth's resources, but we're also exhausting ourselves. I always say that Capricorn is represented by a goat climbing a mountain. And if you notice, nature teaches us a lot. Like I said, everything is interconnected. If you notice a goat climbing up a mountain, a goat doesn't go like crazy, like, oh, pa, 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 pa. It doesn't go like that. The goat just climbs up a little bit, and then it decides to rest on a platform, and then it studies the mountain a little bit, and I don't know, goes around and finds an easier path, and then climbs up a little bit, and then it finds out that it has to go down a little bit to in order to continue, and then it starts raining, and the terrain becomes, I don't know, a little bit slippery, so it has to wait. So it is all about respecting cycles. It is all about respecting cycles and waiting. And this is so true. Again, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and one of the archetypes of Saturn is Chronos, time. So we have to learn how to manage time. And it's not literal artificial time set by humans, it's soul time. Things take time. We need to respect that.
One thing that I completely forgot to say about Pluto, you guys, that is very important for you to think about, because I mentioned in my Portuguese video, and I forgot to mention in this one, is this Pluto retrogression in Capricorn. It is all about endings, like I said, but again, Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, and again, Pluto is about death and rebirth, and not just that, Pluto works in cycles, because it's not just that, it's rebirth. So think back on what was going on in 2008 in your life, and try to associate it with what is happening now in your life. It doesn't have to be exact, because sometimes the shift is very clear, but other times it is gradual. For example, it's like, oh, I was graduating from college, or I left a job, and in the private sector, and started a job in the public sector, or vice versa. Or it can be a graduate transition. For example, I had a disease that really affected my life, and I had to battle it for a while, and I'm still and it took me a while to deal with it. Or again, this I decided to leave my job, and open my own business, but it took me a while. Things like that. It doesn't have like to be shut the door and open a new door. No, it can be like a transition process. And I even use my life. You're gonna see that I do that quite often in my videos, that I use me as an example for you guys on my own life experiences. Back in 2008, I had a dog that 6 months before, like I said, every time we're dealing with Pluto, the energy is very strong, so you can feel its shifts, and it's just like a sleeping giant. When the giant's gonna start walking, you can feel its movement just by its lifting its feet from the ground. So you feel Pluto's movements even before it actually starts. Its influence starts months in advance. So I had this dog, and 6 months before Pluto moved from Sagittarius to Capricorn, my dog died from cancer. And I mean, my world I was a wreck. Like, my world fell down. And then this year, in right after Pluto shifted to Aquarius, 6 days after that, my dog died from cancer. And then I started connecting. I was like, this is Pluto. It's the number 6 repeating. It's a dog thing, cancer thing. They were from the same breed. They were both Basset hounds. They even looked alike. It's so you start making connections. Dogs symbolize something for me. I'm not going to get into details, but then you start noticing patterns in your life. It's Pluto telling you things about beginnings and endings in your life. That's why I like giving my own example. So pay attention into what was happening in 2008, and beginning and ending in your life, and what is beginning and ending now. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. It can be a gradual thing. And again, each person has their own lives. But when it comes to Pluto, it always involves karma. Remember that. So it's not just about an ending and a beginning. It's always about a karmic ending and a karmic beginning. And it's always amplified and this is being amplified, not always, this is being amplified because of all the outer planets involved as a collective, and they are at their final degrees as well, at the end of their journeys. So there are some major endings coming to do with our individual karma, but also as collective karma, as humanity. And also, one thing that you have to remember when you're thinking about Pluto is like at the 29th degree is, what are you really letting go now in your life? In an individual level, it would be nice for you to see where you have the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius in your chart, where you have 0 degrees of Aquarius and 29 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto is going to be dancing around that place in your chart. But that's going to be the most affected area of your life. So think about, what are you really letting go now in your life? And again, like I said, remember, everything happens in the perfect timing. Capricorn, actually, one of the many layers of the archetype of Capricorn, it rules timing, the soul timing, like I said. And
again, like I said, that concept, that whole concept that we have as a society of, oh, I need to achieve that by 30 and blah blah blah, I need to do that by 50, it's outdated. So don't judge yourself for, oh, I should have done this sooner, how stupid I was, and all of these things. Now is the moment your soul was finally and karmically ready to let go of something big. Maybe it is something you have been bringing not only from this lifetime, but also from previous lifetimes, because it is also connected to your relationship to Earth itself. And I say maybe not to sound arrogant, because it probably is. 99% chance that it is. It is for the greater good and for your own good. Always remember that. So we need Pluto in Capricorn, going retrograde in Capricorn, is making us question all of that. How can we be as a society? How can we go forward? Creating new paradigms that will actually sustain life on Earth, that will allow us to be connected with the rhythm of Earth, of Gaia, and of ourselves. We cannot dissociate ourselves from Earth. We're part of it. And that actually is speaking directly also with Uranus in Taurus. This has been speaking with this archetype has been working in Taurus for a long time already, ever since Uranus went into Taurus. And again, Uranus is another outer planet that works on collective karma, and it's making us question. I think it is in at the 27th degree of Taurus, so it's also finishing its journey, and it's trining Pluto, creating a conversation with Pluto, and Uranus is going retrograde as well, right after Pluto is going retrograde on the very next freaking day. And Uranus is all about radical change, awakening, because of this, because you're becoming conscient of things, and Uranus is giving us this relationship in Taurus. Is like literally our relationship with Earth. How we, not just that, it is making us question what embodiment, because Taurus is all about our bodies, our personal bodies. It's like it's making us question and radically change the meaning of embodiment, what embodiment even means. That's why people started questioning what food they are eating, the pharmaceutical industry. It's like literally, what does embodying mean? Habits, all of that. And also our relationship with Earth. And then Capricorn, with this trine, talking with Pluto, gets all this Uranus conclusions and show us how this relationship with Earth can be transformed into paradigms, sustainable paradigms, new world orders, in order to restructure our spiritual boundaries so we can grow in a new way as literally a soul on Earth. That is what, this is a big deal, guys. Can you see that? Can you see how much Pluto is, how a lot of things are happening just with these two freaking planets? That's why I said this video is going to be huge. But again, Pluto is making us question all of these limiting beliefs, like people have been, oh my god, I have to be, I don't know, I have to marry by the age of 30, and by the age of 40 I have to have bought a mansion, and by the age of 50 I have to have traveled half the world. It's like, says who? Why do you believe that? Pluto is it's breaking all these ideas. It's like, does it make sense to you? Why do you have that inside of you, interjected inside of you, and literally putting that in your body because you're pushing yourself? And making us questions like this idea of setting goal after goal after goal after goal, that again, most of them are artificially created, are not even our own goals. And once we get there, it's like there's this new goal, a new goal, a new goal, and it only creates competition instead of compassion and cooperation, which are both characteristics not only of Aquarius but of Cancer. We're shifting, guys. We're shifting to a whole different type of energy. And speaking of outer planets, Neptune, it's in the 29th degree of Pisces for quite a while already. And every time a planet it's at the 29th degree of something, it's preparing to die, because it went all through the journey of that sign. It's just like someone, it can be compared to someone that went through life and acquired all this knowledge, and when it's close to death, the person has all this knowledge, and they just move beyond life and bring all this knowledge to the next life, to the afterlife, to their next life, to their next incarnation, whatever. But this knowledge goes into their soul, basically. This is what happens when you are at the 29th degree of any sign. It goes through this journey of the sign, and it acquired all the knowledge of that sign. So it has like the highest amount of energy of that sign, so it expresses that sign at its highest potential. That's why sometimes people who have the something, or a planet or a house at the 29th degree of any sign, they have that energy very prominent in them. For example, my Scorpio rising is at 29th degree and 57 minutes of Scorpio. That's why, like I said, I'm very intense and very serious and very deep, because I have like Scorpio at its highest point as a rising. But it's like this paradox. You have it at its highest point, but you're ready to shift. And that is happening to Pluto at the 29th degree of Capricorn, because it is about to shift to Aquarius. And that is also happening to Pisces, to Neptune in Pisces. It's been at the 29th degree of Pisces for quite a while, and it's going back into Aries. It's not back. Yeah, back. I'm going to go back to the back. It's going into Aries at the end of March 2025. I think it is March 31st. So basically April 2025. Let me see here. Yeah, March 30th. So basically April 2025, it's going back to Aries, but then it's going to go retrograde back into Pisces and all of that jazz. But the thing about Neptune, that's why I said it's going to go back into Aries. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. Pisces, again, is the effervescent vitamin C that you put into the water. Pisces cleans everything. Pisces is the sign of clearing out karma. Pisces, again, is where you dissolve into spirit, and you bring, because you cannot bring certain things back with you to the beginning of the journey, which is Aries. So Neptune, which is the spirit, the planet that deals with our spirituality, is in Pisces, which is its ruler. Neptune rules Pisces. So Neptune in Pisces is been working on our awakening, our relationship with spirituality, this idea of us connecting as a collective mind, all of that, dealing with our karmas. My cat is awake, and Neptune is ending its journey in Pisces, and Neptune is an outer planet that has a long trajectory. I think it takes like 162 years to complete a journey. So once Neptune goes back into Aries, it's gonna complete a cycle in 2025, a karmic cycle for mankind. It's gonna have cleared a karmic cycle for mankind. And again, our children and our grandchildren are not gonna have Neptune in Pisces again. Our grandchildren probably, but not our children. So we're clearing a lot of karma. A lot of karma. Again, Earth is going through a transition. So astrology is always about layers, talking to layers and talking to layers. It's like an onion. Not even an onion. I think it is about, astrology is like a shadow. You know, in ancient times where they had those Chinese shadow puppet shows, that they had, like, was it in China, Japan? Probably both, because all the cultures there are related. But that's why I say it's not an onion, because the onions like superimpose each other, and once you take like an onion petal, you cannot put it back. Things don't repeat themselves, I guess. But with the shadow theater, they kind of do. So you put a scenery, a tree further back in the background, and things can be happening in the background, and then you have the first plane with the dolls, and then you exchange things, and then things come back to the foreground. That's astrology. That's why I love learning all of these things and trying to keep up with that. And again, I'm sorry if this is getting too astrological for you guys, but it's just at the moment, it's just a big moment. And I just so we're having big movements that are influencing the collective, and all of this is speaking with our own individual selves, working individually with us. And when we're talking about all of these outer planets and karmic planets, it's not about, oh, let me just help my cat, because he's got a lot of issues. I'm not gonna go into the detail on the first video of the channel, but I have to help him drink some water. Just a second. I'm back. There he is. I don't know if you guys can see him. And I have to pay attention to make sure that he's not inhaling water accidentally, because he's only 9 months old. He's gonna be not 9, 11 months old. He's gonna be 1 year old on September 21st, which is yay, because he's like a little miracle. He was born here in my house, because I adopted the mom from the streets, but he was born blind and crippled and autistic, so he depends on me for pretty much everything. The poor thing. Yeah, and sometimes when he's drinking water by himself, he's actually very well developed. He's been developing well. He accidentally breathes in and inhales, and he starts coughing. Anyway, so back to where I was. All of these planets, outer planets, and more collective energies. When you're dealing with individual energy, you have actually to look on your own birth chart, you have to look where they are in your chart, the house they're in, because that's how they're gonna influence you more. But you don't have to do that. It's just that if you're interested in this kind of thing, and if you need any help, just write down and comment. I'll try my best to answer you guys, depending on how many people are interested in that. But yeah, we're also having Saturn, and Saturn has been in Pisces as well. I think it is in the 17th degree Pisces, and it is opposing the Sun in Virgo as well, as we speak now. And Saturn in Pisces is a very beautiful energy, because Saturn in Pisces, it is all about the growth that is needed, the growth that our soul needs. And it wants our soul to grow regardless. And it knows that some things are going to hurt, and we have some limitations, or we're going to have to put some limitations, some boundaries. Saturn doesn't care. It wants us to be aware, because Pisces, Saturn doesn't like to be in Pisces. Like I said, Pisces is this big well where everything is dissolved, and Saturn is like, yeah, you know what? In order to grow, you cannot be dissolved. You need to give form to something. It's like, again, it's like water, which is Pisces. If you just leave it there, it's just gonna stay there. But if you wanna drink water, you have to put it in a cup, or in a bottle, in a vase, somewhere. This is Saturn. It's like on your hands, like holding like this, cupping. Saturn is like, you have to give form to something. You have to restrict the water somehow. You have to put boundaries somehow to this water. And yes, you're gonna lose access to the whole water, but it's gonna be useful. It's useful water. It's water that's gonna help you grow. It's the water that you need. It's the water that you need for your own growth, to make your dreams come true, because Pisces is very dreamy, and again, it's for your own soul alignment, and that is where we come to also this specifically week's energy, because what is important in this was kind of an introduction for you guys to understand this week's energy, because what is very important in this week is not just Pluto retrograde, is we're having a lot of things happening in the second half of 2024. If you thought like the beginning of the first half was intense, the second half is gonna be also intense. This week we have the new moon in Virgo, and it's gonna happen. Oh, I'm speaking Portuguese with him. The new moon in Virgo is gonna happen on the 3rd. So Pluto goes retrograde on the 1st. Uranus goes retrograde on the 2nd, and we have the new moon in Virgo on the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. Things are progressing, guys. And one right after the other. And not just that. On the 2nd, Neptune goes retrograde as well. And one thing that I like to say, because this is the first video, of course, every time a planet goes retrograde is a moment for us to reflect upon something. A lot of people think that retrogression means things being slow and being stuck. Let me help him get on the bed. a lot of people think that retrogression means being slow and being stuck. And that's not true. There's a reason why things things are slower during retrogression. And by the way, retrogression, it's not like the planets start going backwards, moving backwards. It is actually... Okay, let me explain for you my philosophy about retrogression. Retrogression is a period for reflection upon that planet's energy and archetype in our lives. And why is that? Because retrogression isn't really a movement, it's an optical illusion between Earth and that planet's orbit. And just like it has to do with physics, cinematic. It's just like when you're moving on a train very fast, in a train, not on a train. Some people in places of the world, they do travel on a train, but most of them are inside the train. Anyway, you're in a train traveling at fast speed, and sometimes when an object passes you by, depending on the speed you're on and that object is on, it actually looks like that you are not going forward, you're going backwards. That is retrogression. It is an optical illusion. Pay attention to the words I'm using. Optical illusion. That's why retrogression is a moment of reflection, because it is where our illusions are revealed to us regarding that energy, regarding that archetype. Got it? That's why retrogradations are so important, and that's why oh my god, it pisses me off when people are like, oh my god, I hate retrogrades, oh my god, retrograde, oh my god, nothing works. It's like, because retrogradations are moments of inner calling for you to listen to something, and people, instead of listening, they just go yappa 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 yappa, and they just complain because it's cool to complain. Yeah, guys, way to go. Gosh, I'm so annoying, but yeah. Anyway, as you can see, a lot of the outer planets that deal with karma, collective karma, are in retrogression. So we can reflect upon a lot of things as a society. And like I said, it doesn't affect just the collective, it affects us individually, because it is making us think about ourselves in a soul level, in a soul alignment type of way. And why am I talking about retrogression? I was talking about Uranus. Oh yeah, because of Neptune going retrograde. Yeah. So this week, the important thing is, first of all, we had August. August was, as you folks might have felt and lived and experienced, August was a hell of a month. It was a month that had a lot of changes, and it was a very intense month because it had a lot of awakening energy around it, a lot of building, an awakening based on self-love, awakening based on self-discovery, and making sure that you were listening to your inner call, feeding your inner hearth, let's put it this way, because there was a lot of conversations between the sun and Vesta, and anyway, I'm not going to go into astrology for August, for Christ's sake, but a lot of empowerment. And not just that, this August was a very special one, because we had, you might have heard everywhere. Even in my channel, I did a lot of videos about it. The 888 portal, which is a Syrian portal. Every August we have a Syrian portal in which we align with the Syrian star, Syrian energy, which is Sirius for the Earth is an archetype that it is almost like our higher soul. It is almost like the higher soul of Gaia. Let's put it this way. It's not really that way, but let's put it. Sirius is like the higher soul of the sun. Let's put it this way, to simplify. That's why we're guided by Sirius a lot, and that's why Sirius mean a lot. Because the Sirius portal, astronomically, and that has a lot of impact astrologically, is when the sun, Sirius, and the Orion belt, they align in the horizon. So there's a lot of higher mind, stellar. This is where we connect with galactic energy. And anyway, I'm trying to simplify this video and they're not allowing me, because it's like, yeah, they have to keep up with what you've been speaking in Portuguese. I'm like, yeah, but too much information. And this year, this portal was very special, because usually it's a portal, an 8-8 portal, because it's August 8th. But this year especially, it was an 888 portal, because this year we have a rulership of numerologically. This year is in a number 8 year, so it was like 888. And everything that is expressed in 3. Remember, like I said, the universe is not a duality; it's a triad. It's about expansion and the divine and blah 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 and all those things. So it was a very, very powerful month. And not just that, it happened close to the full moon in Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Yeah. Oh my god, so many things coming up. Okay, so we had this full moon of Aquarius waking us up. That was also happening, that was having conversations with Uranus in Taurus. And it was this very awakening time in August. To sum it all up. And now, not now, but now in September, we are going to have, on September 17th, we're going to have a full moon in Pisces, which will be a very special, and all full moons in Pisces. Oh, and by the way, that full moon in Aquarius was a super blue full moon, which is also a special event. Forgot about that. But this full moon in Pisces on the 17th of September is, every full moon in Pisces is all about connecting with intuition and your depths, your spirituality, and not just yours, but spirit, and the spirit of everything, not just yours. But this specifically one will be an eclipse, and not just an eclipse. It will be a special eclipse, because now we're working, when it comes to eclipses, we're working on Libra Aries axis. But this one, it's not on this axis. Pisces is not Libra or Aries, so it is uncommon. It is a special type of eclipse. Because it represents the next axis that we're gonna work on, which will be the Virgo Pisces axis that is only gonna happen on 2025. So this eclipse, Jesus Christ, it is so hard to articulate words now. That's what happens when I get into Pisces energy. This eclipse is gonna not only give us a taste, a prelude of 2025, but it's gonna be the little starter, just like when you're making bread and you put a little starter there to make it rise for the whole bigger cycle that's gonna start on 2025. Remember, like I said, the shadow puppet theater, things happening on the foreground, things happening in the background. This eclipse is the background thing that is already going to start regarding spirituality, regarding our spiritual. Aquarius was about spiritual awakening, but this eclipse in Pisces is about spiritual alignment. It's literally making our spiritual life coherent with our physical life. That's why the Pisces Virgo axis working on 2025, but it's already starting to act right now in September. It's already having its spark right now in September, and we're starting the eclipses. And that's the thing, eclipses energy, they don't start on the day of the eclipse. They kind of start 1 week before, and when the eclipse happens, they reverberate for 6 months. It's a big deal, guys. September is going to be a big deal. That's why this huge video, and I'm preparing you guys, and that's why they were like, you have to start recording videos in English right now. It's like, I'm a very Plutonian person, so Pluto has been pushing me hard ever since January, when it moved to Aquarius, and I've been like, oh, Pluto, please don't, because a lot has happened to me since January. My dog died literally 4 days after Pluto moved into Aquarius, and then I literally almost died because I got dengue, which is a tropical disease. A lot of dying energy around Pluto in my life. So a lot of things happening, and I just needed time, and they were like, yeah, you just had enough time, so go speed racer, go. And I was like, okay, I get it now. Oh my god, this is my first video, and it's already too much information, too much sharing. Anyway, this is how I am, guys. But so it is important for you guys to understand the importance of this new moon in Virgo that we're going to have on September 3rd. Why? Like I said, we had this very special full moon in Aquarius with the awakening, and we're going to have this very full moon in Pisces with the alignment. And right in the middle, sandwiched by these two full moons, we're going to have this new moon in Virgo. A new moon, guys, are moons for literally doing nothing. I hate when people start spreading the news, and they start saying a bunch of stupid things like, oh, do this and do that and do rituals and do that. New moons are moons for seeding things and sowing things and setting intentions. And setting intentions, it's not writing down things in a piece of paper, wishing upon a star like Pinocchio, which is my favorite Disney movie, by the way. Wishing upon a star, putting in a notebook, closing it, and just waiting for the universe to take care of it. No, it's especially because it's a Virgo one. It's again taking action. And taking action not by doing, but by being what you want. I'm gonna die saying all these things, and it's like, please, someone, are you guys listening to me? I just need water because I've been talking so much. Spirit is actually helping me because, like I said, I had a sore throat, and now I'm like, yep, and nothing is happening. I actually have like these, what are they called? Tablets for me to suck on in case I have a sore throat, and they're like, nope, you're fine. Just keep talking. I'm like, yeah, thank you. So this Virgo new moon, Virgo is all about, again, Virgo is part of the Pisces axis. Like I said, we're working axis in astrology, and every axis, not axe, but every axis share things in common. And I give names to axis, like Capricorn and Cancer is the growth axis, the construction axis. Why? Cancer is about nurturing, and Capricorn is about projecting yourself, is about growing. So, the construction, the building axis, because in order to grow, you need to nurture. And Pisces, Virgo, is the cure axis, is the axis of cure. That's why both signs are very giving, very proactive, but one of them, which is Pisces, is very connected to the spiritual and emotional world, and Virgo is connected to the material world because one is water and one is earth. Both are mutable signs. And like all good old mutable signs, Virgo is about changing and shifting things. That's why it's the cure axis, but the cure of what? The material realm, in order to make it as best as it can, in order to optimize things. That's why people are like, oh, all Virgos are OCD'd. It's not OCD. They're literally trying to Virgo is all about, remember, they share an axis with Pisces. Pisces is all about the divine, spirit. So Virgo is all about trying to bring the divine, the spirit world, purification, into the material realm. So of course they're going to keep shifting and planning and being meticulous about everything to make it perfect, because that's what divine is. But that is divine, but it is impossible to make the divine into the physical world, because the physical world is filled with imperfections, because we live in a world of duality. That's why Virgos are OCD'd, and that's when they're vibrating in shadow. That's why when they're connecting with the shadow aspects, that gives them anxiety, and they cannot control themselves, and they cannot stop themselves, because they're just trying to be better and better and more optimized. And it's like, enough. It can never be too divine. The same happens to Pisces when they're vibrating badly. It's like, I need to fix this person. I need to emotionally cure this. I need to help them with emotions. It's like, enough. Nothing is perfect. You're not going to cure everyone. Because people say Pisces have this broken bird syndrome. It's like they're always trying to fix something to bring back to the divine, emotionally and spiritually and physically. So this new moon in Virgo is all about trying to make our lives, our daily lives, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and it's trying to make our lives materially more optimized and planned and running according to who we spiritually are now, who we think we are aligning now, who we are now aligned with as a soul, who we've been developing as a soul. And again, new moons are for planning. So start taking action and planning this new alignment of your life. Take the opportunity to do that physically and arrange your life. Arrange your life in that way. That's what the new moon in Virgo is asking of you. It's like, okay, who are you now as a soul? I'm going to help you achieve that in the material plane. So let's do this. Let's plan that. Let's optimize that. Let's bring that into the material world. Let's bring that as spiritual alignment into the material world. I'm here to help you with that. That's the new moon in Virgo. And again, supported by all these other outer energies that are happening. The Pluto in Capricorn, retrograding into Capricorn. All those other things that I already said, like, I don't know, hours ago. I don't know how much time I have in this video already. All these things that you're processing already. Virgo is there saying, okay, let's do that. Let me help you build this new phase that you want to go to. And all of this is culminating because it's gonna merge. It's gonna merge with the eclipse season. And merging with the eclipse season, it's gonna culminate with the eclipse in Pisces, triggering like, okay, I did the work, and so I can already start aligning, and making the life that I want. This new life that I want, building this new life that I want, that supports me spiritually and can be translated into the material world now. That's what Virgo is there for. And another thing that is happening that is important, like I said, Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, but Virgo also has this modern ruler, which is Chiron. Modern astrologers consider Chiron the ruler of oh my god, Virgo. I'm sorry, my mind is just speeding like crazy. Mercury has finally stationed direct, because Mercury was making us think about was helping us with all these Pluto conversations. Before this Pluto conversation started happening, it was helping us get to this place. It was quieting our mind, helping us see a lot of things that were wrong. It was helping us stop this Mars and Jupiter's in Gemini that were like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. This Mercury retrograde was actually talking to Saturn in Pisces, and it was like, okay, you want that, but listen, you cannot want everything, so let's just pull on the brakes and be a little rational. In order to have, it's like a bonsai tree, you cannot grow everywhere. We have to restrain some branches in order for you to be beautiful. So let's choose it. Let's make sure what type of bonsai you want to develop into. And now it's station direct because we kind of started getting the answers. again, it is a moment to quiet our minds. New moons are moments to quiet our minds. Not just that, I'm just saying all August, quiet your mind. September, it's not going to be any different. It's like quiet your mind. Every period of transition is a period for us to quiet our minds. And that's the last thing that the evil forces want us to. I don't know why I do quote unquote. There are evil forces at work anyway. They don't want us to quiet our minds because they want us to be lost and working as headless zombies doing whatever they want. Because the less conscious we are about ourselves, the more we are at their service. I have this metaphor that I use that we're like living inside of this theater of illusions, and some people have started to people are starting to notice that this theater doesn't work anymore. They're diverting their look from stage, and they're like, wait, are these chairs? This is not real life. Am I in a theater? Boy, I'm leaving this place. They're leaving the room. Some other people are noticing weird things like, is this smoke smell? Oh my god, I'm in a theater and something's catching fire. I'm leaving this place. A lot of people are awakening and leaving the theater of illusion. And people who are the dark forces, who are unfortunately in control of the earth, they're getting desperate because we are awakening in a faster speed than they're gathering their soldiers. That's the truth. It's like mathematically we are growing in geometrically progression, and evil forces are only growing in arithmetically progression. I don't even know if these are words. I think they are. If I'm speaking, it's because they are. Anyway, the enlightened ones are multiplying, while the non-enlightened ones are only summoning. It's just like plus signs. That's basically the analogy that I want to use. They're kind of getting desperate because they're losing soldiers. They're losing not losing soldiers. They're losing the opportunity of gaining more soldiers. The light side is gaining soldiers in a faster speed, and that's making them desperate. Because again, Earth is awakening. It's time for transitioning. It's time for us to go into the light. So in the theater of illusion, they're playing the shadiest games, and they're doing everything they can in order to keep the audience, the little audience that they have, which is the gray mass. Because there's the light side, the dark side, and it's the gray mass, and both sides are fighting to gain soldiers from the gray mass. Because no side is going to go to the other side. They're fighting for the gray mass. So it's like the actors on stage, they are doing their best to keep the attention. They're yelling, they're throwing tantrums, they're changing costumes at every 10 seconds, they are doing dramatic acts, and we see that everywhere in media, and it's like sensationalism and over-the-top things and news and shows and absurdities. It's like people are desperate to, like, apps and controversial themes, people trying to make us angry all the time, just to try to keep feeding this energy, just to try to keep us more and more and more glued to this fake theater, so they can keep be kept in control, and it's like, yeah, it's not gonna work anymore. A lot of people are realizing that this is not real life. You puppeteer masters are losing puppets. And yeah, so why am I saying that? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, about this whole awakening thing. We oh, the Mercury retrograde. Yeah, about being quiet. Thank you. That's why it is important for us to quiet our minds during these moments, and that's why a lot of things aren't shifting as quickly as we wanted them to, because we are with our house under renovations, and and it's not just under renovations. It's not like we are renovating like room after room. It's like we put our whole house to the ground. This whole Pluto energy. Are you gonna live there where you are literally reconstructing your house? No. So of course life is gonna halt for a little bit. So a lot of people want change and change and change because we're used to this yang energy of things happening, and it's like, no, you better get used to yin energy for a little bit. It's again this Pluto in Capricorn, making us think about cycles. It's like, yeah, you have to get used to high tides but low tides as well, so it's part of nature. It's part of nature. And I was gonna say something about renovations. Oh yeah. We're going through not an identity crisis. We're going through an identity restructuring. We're going through an identity restructuring. It is a big deal, guys. It's a lot happening. So, and it's not to be taken lightly. Awakening processes, which is something that I said in a video in my channel in Portuguese. I'm actually gonna link it down below in case someone is interested, but you're gonna have to turn on closed captions with auto translate. I don't know if you guys are gonna be interested. I'm doing my part, but anyway, I actually channeled Pleiadians in that video, and I was hearing some things. Anyway, I was channeling Pleiadians in that video, and they warned me to tell people that one thing that people are forgetting to say in these videos about awakenings and is that awakening is a beautiful thing, because everyone's like, oh, awakening. It is a beautiful thing, yes, but awakening hurts. It hurts. And it is okay. It's like I said, you're losing a big part of your identity. You're going through a very big identity restructuring. You're severing a big part of who you believed you were. And not just that, it is a part of yourself in which you had to rely upon for a big chunk of your life in order to survive emotionally. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional. And that was there for a very long time to protect you. It was a guardian of yours. So you're saying goodbye to a protector that doesn't serve you anymore because you outgrew that, and you have to be grateful. And you have to realize that that guardian is, although it was very useful for a while, if you keep it, it's actually going to be a restriction instead of a protection. And it's like the child, because that's literally, internally, that's literally what's going on. It is a child that has to say goodbye to their parents, that had safeguard them in order to grow. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck forever. Because that guardian was yourself. Because probably you didn't have some kind of safety there. And a lot of people blame themselves for some kind of characteristics, or they're like, oh, how could I do that? I was so stupid. I was so naive. I was this and I was that. You're not that. You are guarding a very precious part of yourself. You're trying to survive. You did your best, and you did what you were prepared to do by then. These shifts that are happening now, they're happening for a reason now, because you are prepared now. You weren't prepared then, and your soul knows that, because everything, there is no time. Time is an abstract concept that we have in this three-dimensional reality that we project as humans in order to experience matter. But if you think about it, everything for spirit, there is no such thing as time, and everything is happening at a moment called present, now. So for spirit, in order to survive, what spirit does is, okay, I'm gonna do this right now, in order to survive emotionally this experience, and later on, I'll just rescue this information, this characteristic, this part of mine, and I'll be fine. The problem is social conditioning kind of suffocates us and brainwashes us, and we forget to go back and get that back for us. That's the problem, and that's a great part of what I do in my therapy. Is like help you try to dig your treasure back. That's what Pluto does. It hurts, yeah, it hurts, but it's for your own good. That's why I say I'm a very Plutonian person, because I'm all about transformation for your own good, even if you know it hurts.
And one other thing that I forgot to say, that I mentioned in my video in Portuguese, that I channeled from the Pleiadians, is that another thing that really bothers me when it comes to this awakening thing and the community, the spiritual community we're living, is that there is this almost illusion of, yeah, awakening is beautiful and everything is beautiful and blah blah blah, but people forget, again, we live in a world of duality, and they forget that in order to expand to light, we have to expand at the same time and in the same amount to darkness. We don't do anything unilaterally. Again, everything is duality. We do things in axes. So if we're expanding in light, we're expanding the same amount and in the opposite direction. Is the law of it's Newton's law of action and reaction. So what people forget is that this new age of Aquarius, this Pluto getting in Aquarius energy, and we're already seeing that with this prelude of Pluto getting into Aquarius in the beginning of the year, is that yes, there will be higher conscience coming, innovation, technology and awakenings and all these beautiful things, but we're gonna have the same amount in the shadow part, and the shadow part is resistance, intolerance, duality, clash of ideas, and we're already seeing that. So prepare yourselves for a great deal of, yeah, innovation and all of these things, but also of resistance, canceling culture, radicalism, and all of these things for the next 20 years. We're seeing that because Pluto is going to expose that, expose the hypocrisy, expose the contradictions, and this is part of the Aquarius energy. Aquarius can be this is the shadow of Aquarius, can be highly intolerant. Again, all signs, they share an axis with their opposite sign, and the opposite of Aquarius is Leo. And Leo, the shadow of Leo, is selfishness and tyranny. But Leo is a fire sign, so that is about the ego. But Aquarius is an air sign, so it's about ideas. That's why Aquarius, vibrating in its shadow, is about radicalism of ideas, ideologies. It's tyranny. We're seeing that, guys. We're seeing that. You're already experiencing that. Pluto has exposed that side of Aquarius already, and it's only getting worse for the next 20 years. So we gotta pay attention, and we gotta be pretty resistant and fight this this kind of thing, because it's gonna continue and it's gonna get worse. And again, another layer that we're gonna see is what I spoke about in the beginning of the video, is the fake prophets kind of thing. People pretending they know everything, they have the ultimate truth, they have all these beautiful ideals, but they're complete lunatics. They're completely lost, and they have these weird ideologies. They are listening to God knows who, God knows what entities, and they're making people even more confused than anything else. So yeah, be careful, guys. Aquarius has just started.
And again, it's a moment for quietness. And Mercury allowed us to be quiet during its retrogression, but ever since the 28th, Mercury went into its direct movement. And Mercury is in Leo now, at the 23rd degree of Leo, and it's actually trining, like I said, it's funny because both Mercury and Chiron are the rulers of Virgo, so it's another thing that it's great for this new moon in Virgo, because both Mercury, which is at the 23rd degree of Leo, which is a fire sign, and Chiron, which is at the 23rd degree of Aries, which is also a fire sign, they are trining each other, and a trine is a very positive aspect where energy just flows with beautifully between between two planets. And these two, speaking with each other, with all this fire energy, is putting fire energy into this new moon sowing, this new moon seeding of the new era that we want in our lives. And it's about following your intuition, because Aries is about our inner primal fire, our inner primal self. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, is the child of the zodiac, is the spark that brings us to life. So it's this primal thing that we have inside of us. It's this intuition that is still connected to source. It's like, yeah, I know who I am. I'm very sure of who I am. So it's, and Chiron there, talking to Mercury, is in Leo, which is also about listening to our joy, what our ego, what makes us sing, what brings joy to our life. It's about, again, listening to our intuition, our inner fire, in order to heal our inner wounds, because it's Chiron. And remembering that joy, Mercury in Leo, is a big part of our journey. We're here to experience joy. We're not here to experience pain. If people think we're here to experience pain, they're thinking wrong. God didn't make us to be sad. the language of life is love. And the highest of vibrations is joy. It's simple as that. So that is happening as this new moon is going on. And also one more thing that I actually took note here that I have to say. We're also having this divine feminine energy very strongly happening. That is also why we should be quiet. Happening in Libra. Let me just get had to put some balm in my mouth because I live in a very dry city and we are on winter. And winters here are very, very dry. So we have like 8 to 10% humidity. My lips are like cracking. Yeah, so we are experiencing this very interesting thing in Libra for little guys that it's making us think about our relationships. And again, a lot of the eclipse's energy so far have been about how we deal with relationships. The Aries Libra axis have been working on that. That's why it has all been about self-empowerment and all of that. Oh my god, all of that. I'm sorry. So we have Venus in at the 7th degree of Libra, and also we have the South Node in Libra, alongside with Black Moon Lilith and Juno. All of that in Libra. And again, this is all about relationships. And there's also an important thing. Why am I saying 7 degrees? I usually don't say about degrees. But like I said, this video is very astrological because there's a reason for being astrological. Nothing that I say, guys, is out of reason. Everything that I say, there's a reason, okay?
Sorry guys to interrupt, but one other thing that I forgot to say while I was recording and I only remembered during editing was, remember I said that everything has a reason for me to keep saying numbers and degrees and everything, and I completely forgot about that. These 7 degrees of Venus and Juno and South Node and Black Moon Lilith in 7 degrees of Libra. There's a reason why I said the 7th degree of Libra is because, like I said, we're having the lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 17th of September, but later on we're gonna have the solar eclipse on the 2nd of October, but it's gonna be in Libra. And guess what? It's gonna happen at 10 degree of Libra, which is, we consider it to be conjunct to all of these 4 elements happening because it's pretty close. It's only 3 degrees of distance. So this eclipse in Libra on the 2nd of October, it's gonna trigger and transform all of these relationship questions and energies that we're dealing right now. So a lot of things, a lot of terrain being prepared before the eclipse, both eclipses, the lunar in Pisces and the solar in Libra later on in October, triggering the transformation that we're preparing right now. That's what is important for us to know.
And this is all about, first of all, if you guys never heard of Juno, Juno is this dwarf planet. My speech is horrible, I'm sorry. Juno is this dwarf planet that speaks about our partnerships, love partnerships. it's about being what we expect from a partnership, being the best partner, and what we expect from a partner. Is how we devote ourselves lovingly into a partnership. So it's like where and how we get things invested in a partnership, and we experience that with integrity. That's how we express our integrity in a partnership, basically. It's how we are committed in a partnership. That's Juno. And all of these four things together, and again, Venus is all about our values. The South Node is karmic ties, and Lilith is about things about our ego that we're not willing to negotiate. No way from hell. So all of those four together in Libra is about not silencing ourselves anymore for the sake of keeping peace. That's what we're dealing with, and thinking about in the relationships arena for now. But again, it's not like, oh, I'm not gonna silence myself in order to keep in order to keep peace, but I'm just gonna throw up everything at the other person. No, because we're still dealing with Libra energy. So it's a very diplomatic energy. It's about learning how to create space for the both of you to express your wants and needs, and express to validate your ideas, to validate your emotions, to validate yourselves as individuals in one-on-one relationships. No matter what type of relationship it is, if it is a romantic one, a familial one, a work relationship, it's one-on-one relationships. And because Libra has this kind of superpower that everyone that has a lot of placements in Libra has a difficulty with that, because it is almost like a superpower that you sense and you have the ability of knowing exactly what the other is thinking and what the other wants. But because of that, it is almost like a survival skill that, because of that, you learn to silence yourself in order to survive, and you become almost kind of subservient to that, and you learn, and when you grow up, you kind of project that throughout your life to others, and you kind of learn to silence yourself in order to survive and navigate relationships. And this energy is not about that. It's like there is a way for you to understand the other person and to give space to the other person to express themselves, but so do you. Both of you can be authentic and negotiate, and it's like this analogy that I always use with Libra. The problem with Libra is that most people think it's the scales, right? Most people think that the scales need to be static, and not. Balance, which is one of the archetypes of Libra, it's not a static thing. It's it's always moving. It's that dynamic equilibrium. That's what balance is. It's just like those guys in the circus. If they just try to get like a stick with I'm horrible at this, guys. I'm gonna get like this. If they just try to do this, it's gonna fall. But if they keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, the disc, it just is there. It's in balance. But this is moving. But this is in balance. This is what Libra energy needs to learn. In order for things to be in balance, a lot of things need to keep shifting. Things need to be kept being negotiated all the time. And if you have a lot of Libra placements, this can be hard for you. So one way for you to kind of develop that skill and kind of train that, it's before trying to project that with others, it's having this one-on-one relationship with yourself, because it's not just one-on-one relationship with others, it's literally one-on-one relationships with ourselves. It's like our inner self with our outer self, our feminine with and our masculine, our lower self with our higher self. It's like knowing how to put boundaries or not put boundaries with ourselves, or our masculine and our feminine energies. Learn how to do that with yourself and negotiate with your own self, because this is all about relationship. And we have relationships with ourselves because we're not made of one energy. So then you can project that with other people. So this week, guys, is gonna be intense. Not just this week, but September. And again, when it gets to the eclipse season, I'm gonna record a video for that. But do not don't be desperate, and do not despair. And the key to everything is inside of you. So just remember to listen to yourself and go inside. This is Pluto's lesson. Always go inside. Even if you're scared, face your fears, and the light at the end of the tunnel is inside the tunnel itself. Sometimes we're afraid of getting inside the tunnel. Just make sure you're looking very deeply inside yourself, and you're gonna rise as a phoenix. Just remember that a lot of things that cause us fear is external noise. Try to listen to your internal voice. I'm a poet, as all Pisces are apparently. But yeah, do not despair. There's a lot going on, and it's for our own good. And again, oh my god, my website is in Portuguese. Anyway, I'm gonna leave my email in the comments. I have so much to do before transitioning to English. Oh my god. I say do not despair, and I'm starting to become desperate. Not really, because I'm a very calm person, as you can see. Too calm. But yeah, if you need anything, just send me an email, or I'll be happy to book a session. I offer a lot of services, and not just that, like, just if you need someone to talk to, have any questions or anything, I'm there. And now I'm gonna pull out some cards, because I always do that in my videos, for the weekly energy. Okay, first one, and this time, I don't know why, Viking energy came for us. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, this whole Valkyrie energy, of not despairing, self-sacrificing for the greater good, and the greater good is your own self being brave. That's what I'm listening. That's why Viking energy and the whole Ragnarok thing, that we're going to to a greater battle for our own lives. And our own lives is not just like good versus evil in the sense of earth. It's like good versus evil inside our own selves. It's literally we're going to a different timeline. Which one you want to go to? Yeah. Okay. Fierce, serenity. So again, be fierce, but do not despair. So don't give up on yourself. Be courageous, but at the same time be gentle with yourself. Be fierce, but without desperation in your heart. Couldn't have a more perfect card to come out. Again, I channel everything. I only take out cards because people usually need cards to see things happening. But I like taking out cards. Usually they pulling out cards, not taking out. Pulling out cards because people, a lot of things come out in addition. No, I got 3 cards, but I just want 1, so I'm putting them back. Okay, thank you. Oh my god, you know what's funny? When I was shuffling the cards and laying the table before the video, I saw this card at the back of the deck and I was like, yeah, that's the energy. And I got the same card, which is Idun. Magical youth and regeneration. And it's actually giving me the energy of Pallas Athena. I don't know why. I'm actually going to read the book. But it's giving me... Oh, yeah! Oh, so many downloads. Because, just like I'm trying to listen. Yeah. When Pluto goes retrograde into the 29th degree of Capricorn, Pallas Athena will be in sextile with Pluto. Because it will be in the 29th degree of Scorpio. And Pallas Athena is the archetype of the strategist. It's also a divine feminine energy, a lot of divine feminine energy. And it is the strategy, the strategist of the zodiac. She is the silent warrior, like the chess player, is someone who doesn't go to war. She makes war on the table. It's like that commander that stays there and just moves the pieces and says, like, we're gonna cross the river and then we're gonna make a diversion over here, so they think we're going over here, but then we're gonna move over there. Pallas Athena is like that. And when she's in Scorpio energy, again, Scorpio, it's ruled by Pluto, so Scorpio is not afraid of the dark. It's not afraid of the depths. So when Pallas Athena is in there, it learns to go to the depths and to the dark. And it's not afraid of of using Scorpio's occult powers, magical powers of alchemization in her favor. So, and all of us have been taught of being afraid of going into the depths, into our own shadows. That's why fears and serenity, because of Pallas Athena. Part of Pluto's journey is, again, not going, it's going to the depths. But with Pallas Athena sextiling Pluto, she will aid Pluto in this alchemization process. It's like oh my god, I love synchronization. I love magic. Yeah. You see that she's holding this magical glowing apple coming from a treasure chest. Remember that I said Pluto is about going to the depths and seeing our lying treasures, the treasures that are lying there, in order for us to rise as a phoenix. It's like Pallas Athena is the one holding holding a magical wand to help Pluto make its journey easier and faster and more interesting, and illuminating our treasures. And in order to find the hidden treasures and make them even spark even more, and helping us alchemize it even faster, and to show ourselves that there is some real power. That's why it's coming out of the magical box. There is some real power in ourselves when we're willing to go into the depths and let go, and let die what needs to die. And that's part of again, it's in the 29th degree of Scorpio, Pallas Athena. And remember what I said about the 29th degree of a sign? It is the wisdom of a sign at its highest point. And Scorpio is all about dying and transforming and letting go what's not working. So Pallas Athena there is giving you all that wisdom as well. It's like, see, every time you need something is not working, don't be afraid of going there. It's a big power. Learn that with Pluto. And again, it's helping you understand that it's not about death. It's understanding the side of Pluto. It's death and rebirth. But in order for something beautiful to be born, something that is outdated and it's rotten needs to die first. That's why it's magical youth and rejuvenation. It's all this energy of Phoenix. Yeah, let me get the book. This was just a download. Just a download. Okay. This is how I am, guys. Which card is this? Oh my god, I need an index. Do you guys have an index or not? Oh, they don't. Oh my god. Oh my god, they divide that into the 9 worlds of the of Yggdrasil. I think Idun is from Asgard. I think she's a goddess. Anyway, let me just I'm gonna have to look, guys. Oh my god. I have to rely on my mythology knowledge, which is not weak, by the way. I love Norse mythology. The problem is it's not organized in alphabetical order. I think it is organized in whatever order. It's not even by order of importance. No. Why are you putting tier? This makes no sense. They're putting tier and Thor, which are gods. They're putting both of them. This makes no sense. Jesus Christ. They're putting both of them in Jotunheim, which is the world of giants. So let's go to Alfheim, which is the light elves world. No, but Idun is not a light elf. I'm pretty sure of that. Dwarfheim, maybe? Maybe she's she's put under the dwarf realm because of this this box and magical things. I don't know. Let's see. Yep, she is under the dwarf realm. I don't know why. Oh yeah, it makes sense now. Because she's the son of not the son, the daughter. The daughter of Durin. Durin is a dwarf. I'm gonna read just a few parts, okay? She guards the casket of apples that gods have to eat from if they sense old age coming. By eating the apples, they rejuvenate and become young again. So it's this kind of rebirth thing. She's responsible for the gods' everlasting youth, and her apples are much coveted by their adversaries. Loki, along with the giant Thjasi, once abducted Idun. I think this phoneme doesn't. It's not like that. Anyway, in her apples, and brought them to Jotunheim, which was a potential disaster for the gods, eventually forced Loki to retrieve her. Okay, too much history, there's no need for that. That's what I wanted. Thank you, book. Idun's presence in signals a very positive renewal in the life of the seeker regarding the question at hand. Again, renewal of life, guys. And not even the presence of Loki and Thjasi can deter the notion of this renewal. So nothing's gonna stop this renewal. It's the Pallas Athena thing. There's no need to be afraid of the dark. She brings renewed positivity to whatever question you're asking. Okay, then it just says about spreads and everything else. Yep. So yeah. Nothing else to say, guys, except that it's over 2 hours of video. God help me, because I still have to record another one in Portuguese, channeling everything all over again. Yay! Not everything, because it's gonna be shorter, because there's less things to say, but yeah. And who knows what's gonna come up. I think it's gonna be a different message for the collective. I'm looking over there because there's a green flag looking at me. Who's the pretty one? yeah, I have downloads and I interpret signs everywhere, guys, and not just that, but I have this very, very close connection with insects, and I see insects as trying to communicate things to me very, very dearly. Um, and this fly over here is giving me the sense that, especially because it's green and it's staying very close, and it's actually looking at me. Because usually when you get very close as I am to the fly, no, animals are very, I'm very, how can I put it? Animals are very comfortable with my presence, so it's not that I'm getting close, and it's a common thing for me to get close to animals and they don't freak out. But still, even for this fly, I'm getting too close to it, and it's not flying away. So the fact that this is happening is, for me, and I'm hearing this, whatever it is that you're going through and you are transmuting, that's why it's fierce and serenity. And the lion, you know, when a lion is roaring, what's coming for me is like, whatever it is you're going through, keep it to your chest. And it's not like you shouldn't cry or open up to people or transmute the energy. No, it's only trust, only open up and trust in people that really, really, really know you. And when I mean know you, is really know your shadows as well. Really know what you've been through. Because there might be people trying to overhear you that don't have their best intentions, don't have very good energy emanating for you. So only open up to people that you really trust in. I'm getting like this wolf energy of the pack. Make sure you go to the right wolf in the pack. You know those people, oh my god, sorry, when I start going, I just zone out. You know those people that kind of go to their work, are kind of lonely, and go to work, and they don't have too many people to talk to, and they're going through so much, and sometimes they just open up with, I don't know, a colleague, or they go to a bar and open up with a complete stranger, or with the bartender, or someone at random in a restaurant, or even just some random friend you don't talk too much. Don't be like that. It's like, oh, but I don't have anyone, Luciana. I really don't have anyone. I'm closed off. I decided not to be with, like, I broke up with all relationships in my life because no one was good enough for, not good enough, but I realized that no one was vibrating in the same frequency I was. I'm a very lonely person. I can't find people. I don't even have money for a therapist. My country doesn't have public service for therapy. I'm totally lonely. I don't even have like a cat to talk to. Again, send me an email. Send me an email if you really need to put it out there. And if you don't feel comfortable, talk to a pillow. But don't go out talking to people you feel you can trust but are not trustworthy, because they don't really know what you've been through. They don't know your shadows. I don't know. That's what I get. Anyway, I hope that was understood. Let's continue with the cards, guys. So now we're gonna go. Today, very few cards. Sometimes I take a lot of cards, but usually when the videos are long, they spare me. They're like, not too many cards, but sometimes no. Sometimes spirituality is mean towards me. I'm just kidding, guys. Not complaining. But yeah, for my first video in English, are you freaking kidding me? Almost 3 hours. God bless me for editing. And for trying to spread the word, because I'm doing it to almost 3 hour video, and like it's gonna have like 1 view. I don't care if one person's watching this and it's making a difference. Thank you so very much for you. And if only ghosts are watching, thank you, ghosts. So yeah, the intention was there, and I put all my love into it. So we're gonna look for the week, the energy of the week's energy. Oh my god, I love it. 9 of Pentacles, exactly. Working on yourself. Making sure you're making yourself strong. In order, it's the new moon in Virgo. 9 of Pentacles is literally, and it's funny because in this tarot, I'm pretty sure that they used, you know that show Vikings? I love that show until, what was his name? Ragnar Lothbrok. Until they killed that character, because then it just went downhill. Because he was the main character, right? I liked Floki as well, but anyway. Screenplay just went downhill for me. I'm pretty sure that they based this illustration on Lagertha. But 9 of Pentacles is all about building the life you want, and making sure you conquer everything that you always dreamed of. Becoming this all-powerful person and happy with what you have, because you build it all. With all, and again, all your strength and aligned with who you truly are. You're content. It's literally personal abundance. The new moon in Virgo is there for that. I love it. Okay, the energy for us to activate this week. Oh my god, I love it. Of course it is this guy. It's Thor fighting the sea serpent in order to save the little boat, because Thor was the guardian of the sailors, if you guys didn't know that. With the major arcana, the star. Make sure you're fighting and doing everything you can to protect your dreams, to make them come true. And the Star is also a card of that speaks about cure, and so it's curing and dealing with everything that doesn't work anymore in order for these dreams to come true, facing your biggest fears in order for these dreams to come true. And I love that this this rune over here is Lagos, and Lagos is the rune of intuition. Follow your intuition is everything that I said. And it's not just intuition, it's resting on top of his heart. Literally, follow your inner flame. In order to cure yourself is that conversation that I said, that trine between Chiron in Aries at the 23rd degree with Mercury in Leo, now in direct movement, making things happen and making sure that you understand things with the fire energy, which is very Thorian. I don't even know if that word exists, I just made up a word. Yay me. So the energy to avoid. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is the energy to avoid for me, guys, is like pretending that everything is alright and that you have everything sorted out and that everything is just the way you it's just the way you want it. And you've got everything that you wanted. You don't have to do anything else. That everything is fine. It's not. You know it's not. You know it's not. Again, the Queen of Pentacles is very structured. See, she's sitting on a throne. She's not even moving. You know that the way things are structured aren't working. Both of them are very happy with where they are. But this one seems not only more content, but seemed to have fought for what she wanted. And she has her intuition by her side, the owl. And not just that, she conquered all the tribes. She conquered everything. Even the bear. Like, she conquered it. She killed the bear. This one is like everything. She didn't conquer anything. It was just there. It's like it's stagnant energy. Again, things need to change. Yeah. Fight for what you want. These two cards is like fight for what you want. Don't just stand there and wait for things to come. The Queen of Pentacles is this abundant energy of receiving things without doing anything. There's that thing. That's why I said all those things in the beginning. It's like, oh, things are gonna come to me because I'm awesome. It's like, no, fight for what you want. The time is now. Now, at the back of the deck, it's funny because at the back of the deck we got the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is the opposite of the Queen of Pentacles. He did fight for what he wanted. That's why he's abundant and he's tired. In order to become the king, because the queen, she got everything because she married the king. You don't want things by association. You want things by conquering. You want things by conquering. You want things by conquest. Yep. You want to be your own. You want to own yourself. Okay, you guys. I guess this is it. Thank you if you watched. Oh my god, 23333. Yeah, this is definitely a sign. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys liked the content, and I hope to see you every time now, and to see you soon. Bye.